Hello, everyone. My name is An. Welcome to our podcast today. The time right now is 9 p.m. and the sky is raining a little bit, which is very good with the new episode, Socio-Emotional Development. When we talk about children's social-emotional development, I think back to my childhood. I think in each of us, there are memories and unforgettable experience. Be yourself without having to worry about the difficulty out there. Trust me, it was an amazing moment. Well, let's go back to our topic today, social emotional development. So, what is it? To put it simply, it is the experience, adjustments, and development of relationship of the children from the early childhood. Thereby, it will have children be more active in exploring the environment and learning. So, why does it matter? You know what? At the early age, children can learn faster than many other age. Early experience and quality build a strong foundation and help children respond in the long time when they grow up. Like if you teach your baby how to swim, whenever they grow up, they basically know how to swim without teaching anymore. So come join us today. We have special guest Jenny. She's gonna talk about more about our relationship.
Going off of what Ann said, I will speak more about relationships and how it plays a factor in social development, which can be described with styles of attachment. These are different ways of interacting and behaving in a relationship. Caregivers mirror relationships such as with their bosses, coworkers, partner, or other children in their day-to-day lives and can be extremely impactful on the infant. The first style of attachment is secure attachment, which signifies a warm and loving bond between parent and infant. The child feels loved and cared for and will demonstrate confidence in interactions with others. Internal beliefs about worthiness in the caregiver can translate directly to the infant, strengthening this relationship. Conversely, in avoidant attachment, we see infants' emotional needs are unmet, making them feel unloved and insignificant. The third type of relationship is resistant attachment, which is when the infant is confused as to what they want. When the infant's caregivers are present, they are preoccupied with seeking the attention of their caregiver. However, when the caregiver leaves and returns, the infant will seek and resist contact. Finally, when infants have unfortunately experienced some form of maltreatment or trauma, they tend to display disorganized attachment. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny, for stressing the importance of relationships and how it affects children's social emotional development. I would like to talk a little bit about emotional regulation, expressing emotions, and temperament. This plays a vital role in social emotional development. We have probably heard of the term emotional regulation. Well, what is emotional regulation? Emotional regulation is how we monitor, appraise, and modify emotions in relation to goals. Every child reacts differently to certain situations, but it is really important for parents to teach their children to be patient and react accordingly to different situations, whether it is positive or negative. When we think about why expressing emotions is important for socio-emotional development, it is really important that parents make their child feel comfortable to share their emotions and feelings with them. When children openly express their emotions, it allows the child to be open to others, share their feelings, and trust individuals who they believe provide them comfort and a sense of closeness. Lastly, a child's temperament can also influence socio-emotional development. Temperament refers to individual differences in behavior that are biologically based and can also depend on the environment, value, norms, and culture where the child is brought up in. A positive temperament can be motor ability, sociability, attentiveness, and arousal. Negative temperament can include lying, dishonesty, and mood swings. Temperament has three dimensions. The first one is a slow temperament, where the child reacts positively to certain situations and is easygoing. The second one is a difficult temperament, where the child can easily get angry and engage in negative behaviors. And the third one is slow to warm temperament, where the child is shy and adapts slowly to the environment. Since we have talked about emotional regulation, expressing emotions and temperament, I would like to pass it on to Ishan, who will discuss more factors that contribute to social emotional development.
Thanks, Lab, for discussing the importance of emotion regulation and temperament in early childhood. Communicating emotions is also a vital part of early childhood that can lead to a healthy social and emotional development in later stages of life. Newborns are able to perceive facial expressions, and infants are capable of matching expressions of emotions that they see and hear in their surroundings. Therefore, it is really important to keep a healthy and positive environment around children in early stages of life. Children start to develop functions around 2 to 3 years of age. Children start becoming more aware of standards and rules and start following them even when parents are not present. They start to grasp the difference between what's right and what's wrong. Another important aspect of social and emotional development in early childhood is self regulation. So, what exactly is self regulation? It is the collective group of simple and complex cognitive and emotion related skills that allows children to modulate their thoughts, emotions, and behavior across situations in a goal directed manner. Better self regulation can often lead to better emotional regulation, more pro social behavior, and greater academic achievements in later stages of life. Now, I would like to pass on to May to discuss the importance of family in early childhood.
Thanks, Ishan. Another major influence on an infant's development is their environment. And aside from the immediate family context, we have multiple layers of the environment that can influence a growing infant directly or indirectly. One theory that discusses this is Bronfenbrenner's ecological theory, and this theory mentions multiple levels that influence development, with the first being the microsystem. At this level, we take into account the immediate environment, which has the largest direct impact on the child, and which includes things such as immediate family and daycare. Next, we have the mesosystem, which is just the interaction of the microsystems and how they create a special influence on the child. We also have the exosystem, which contains extended family and external influences, such as social workers or the parents' work. And if the grandparents don't live in the house, they can fall into this category. And one podcast that discusses this mentions that they can play a very important role in the child's life and be a useful tool for the parents in easing the difficulty and workload of raising a child. Past the exosystem, we have the macrosystem, which mostly contains culture and social systems. And lastly, we have the chronosystem, which is just a way to measure how influences that change with time can alter how the child development develops over time. And this idea ties well in with our next topic of how sociocultural factors are going to influence the child's development, which Emily will discuss.
Thank you guys for all the useful information from the previous slides. The social-emotional development of an infant is very important when it comes to understanding different cultures, beliefs, genders, disciplines, and orders, which, as many of you guys know, comes from the roots of social inheritance and understanding the different relationships surrounding your infant. In order for the infant's social-emotional development to grow, there must be respect, honesty, and understanding. This is learned through the bidirectional relationship of parents and children and other relationships within the infant's life. An important aspect of social-emotional development is understanding the different levels of culture, which are concrete, behavioral, and symbolic. Concrete is the aspect that we can see visually and is very tangible, which we can also refer to music or other examples. Behavioral is how we define certain actions and how we communicate certain things, which can be seen through language and additionally other different type of examples. Finally, symbolic is our value and beliefs, which we see mainly through religion. All in all, a social culture perspective has a very important role in an infant's development in order to understand different points of view and different cultures that are not part of their daily life. We appreciate you all listening to our podcast with visuals. Please, if you have any questions, let us know. We will be happy to answer. Thank you.